I'm recording that. Okay, I'm going to ask you all a question before I hand over to Barbara, and feel free to decline or pass if you don't want to. If you don't want to answer this question. So, well, actually, there's three questions. I'd like you to complete this this statement, which is "I intend to." Yeah, and that could be something to do with your life, or whatever you like. And the other question is, what do you need for healing right now? And the third question is, what would bring you peace? And if we could all just spend like maybe 1 or 2 minutes just answering this, and then I'll hand over to Barbara. So I'm going to put those three questions to Patrick. Actually, before I do, I'm going to answer them myself. And I wrote down my answers. I thought about it for about a minute. So what do I intend? What do I need for healing right now? And what would bring me peace? So these were my answers. I fully allow, this is in answer to I intend to, fully allow my intuition to guide me and to honor my needs. I fully allow my intuition to guide me and to honor my needs. And I remind myself that I'm divinely guided and protected at all times, and that I can attune myself to that frequency of well-being through my thinking and feeling patterns. Because I felt out of alignment. So my intention is to align with that power. And in the question, what do I need for my healing right now? The answer is to align myself with the with my divine blueprint, and to express my creativity, and to allow life to show me solutions. And the third question, what would bring me peace, is to let my fears go and to stop trying to control outcomes. So those were my answers, because I think I'm probably a control freak. So the more I can let go, the better. So Patrick, I intend to, and obviously feel free to pass if you want to.
Thank you. I might need reminding of the subsequent questions.
I will remind you, no worries.
Thank you. I intend to continue to allow the universe to guide me, inspire me. They've made themselves very known as of late. As I've surrendered control to their plan, I've had some challenges as of late, but in facing the challenges, I feel their presence. So I intend to continue on that trajectory. Okay, the next question, please.
What do you need for healing right now?
I will never say no to continued love, understanding, patience.
And what would bring you peace?
To give up my my perfectionism. That's all I can contribute right now. I don't have much more to say.
These answers are for you, as well as for all of us.
Thank you.
We're all a reflection of each other. Thank you for sharing that. Maria, I intend to. Can you complete that sentence? If you wish.
I have been intending to very deliberately to release old dysfunctional family codes, as I was watching a YouTube video, which not only family codes, but also which are related to the first chakra, but also to the personal ones related to the third chakra. So this has been some of my intentions, as well, getting in touch with the higher self, or just getting a stronger connection with my intuition part. And the second question, I don't remember it, but
what do you need for healing right now?
Well, I have been kind of myself reaching to a point where I realized that I have been very resentful and angry, and the anger I've dealt with more or less, but the resentment I've been dealing with recently, and I've realized that I have to move from inner resentment to more like love, state of mind and state of being. And I don't know what would bring me peace, honestly.
Okay. And it's okay not to know. You know, we don't have to have the answers.
Okay.
We can be in the void, right, and allow the answers to come to us. Thank you for sharing, Maria. Roz, would you like to share? I intend to.
I intend to express my divinity.
Beautiful.
That's it. That's that one.
And what do you need for healing right now?
What I need for healing right now is I'm very interested in my ancestors at the moment. So I suppose I want to connect more with them and healing the family tree.
Beautiful. And of course, we can call upon our ancestors, and they're there for us, just waiting for us to ask, because they can't intervene without our permission.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful. And what would bring you peace?
Listening to you guys and connecting with you all, that brings me peace.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Roz.
No problem.
Anna, I intend to.
Hey, I intend to stay centered and in my power, in my personal power, no matter what is happening around me.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah. Stay unflappable.
And what do you need? That's a good word. What do you need for healing right now?
A really good massage. I have like I
feel
have
you.
a pinched nerve, and my friend put like these things in my ear, and I realized like I'm holding a lot of tension in my body. Yeah. And I really need some like body work, and just I feel like I need a lot of like physical stuff right now. Yeah, good with the spiritual, but I need some good physical stuff. So
that
really
makes sense.
Good.
And what would bring you peace?
More time in nature. A walk through a forest, a pine forest.
Oh, I can smell it now. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Love that.
Yeah, I need some pine trees.
I can smell pine in my imagination. Thank you, Anna. Salvo, I intend to.
I intend to be driven by the universe and allow it to take me wherever it wants to.
How surrendered. Beautiful. Yes. I love it. And what do you need for your healing right now?
I think get rid of doubts and insecurities. Definitely. To be more certain of several things, not in my healing work, but possibly in my life would be more, it would drive me more secure. Yeah.
Well, I affirm for you and for all of us that we are divine children of the universe, and we're loved and we're safe. And what would bring you peace?
This is a bit tricky, because for me, the best thing would be harmony, but not only at a personal scale, but much wider scale. So seeing if harmony worldwide worked for all of us, it would be more relaxing, possibly.
Absolutely. Well, let's hold that vision, shall we, for global peace, because we can all contribute towards that in this very moment. Thank you, Salvo.
Thank you.
Very powerful. This goes without saying, but I just want to remind you all to hold everyone in love and non-judgment as much as possible, including ourselves. Maureen, I intend to.
My intention is to stay detached to all things and people, yet to still remain empathetic during that.
Oh, that's a difficult one for an empath. It's a life lesson, isn't it?
It is. And my
Wow.
business has picked up a lot, which I took a rest with it. So it's like keeping that balance.
Oh, that's gorgeous. I resonate with that a lot. Thank you.
And
what do you
healing
do for
is
your
just healing is just more self-care. I have done a lot of that this past 6 months. Really taking care of myself. I'm not 100% there, but I still, that's just the life that I've always lived. And I do have to take time for myself, and I have to make that a priority.
Just know that you're worthy of it, and that you are as important as the people that you love and care for.
Right. And to get to the place of peace, I think it's just living my authentic self and not caring about other people's opinions, because I have had many. And instead of getting defensive and angry,
Mario?
I kind of lean in with it.
I'm on a Zoom call.
Sorry, I've muted Andrew. Go ahead.
Okay. So being my authentic self, and not caring about other people's opinions. And when they come at me, instead of being defensive, which has been my MO for a long time, I'm very feisty and opinionated and all that. And instead of doing that, I read it somewhere, like lean in rather than defend. And it kind of changes the conversation to say, yes, that's exactly what I'm going through. And I'm working on it. So it's just kind of changing your perspective when people come at you, especially if they don't have, they're not educated in what you're going through. So my whole thing was get educated first, then we can talk about it. And I can't expect that of other people to get on top of what I'm dealing with, because it's a personal thing.
Thank you, Maureen. Appreciate your candid share. Just being conscious of time, if we could just limit our share to 1 minute before I hand over to Barbara. Matthew, I intend to
allow myself to have the connection with the divine and work through the divine to provide my services for my clients. Healing, being able to let go of repetitive self-sabotage patterns. And peace, being able to just let go of control all expectations.
Wow. That's very self-aware, Matthew. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, Andrew. Good to see you. How are you? I'm gonna ask you to unmute. I muted you during the phone call.
All right. So yeah. Nice to see you again. Everything's good. Thanks. Yeah.
Good. I'm asking everybody 3 questions, which you'll get in a moment. I'll come to you in a moment. So, Syra, I intend to. Would you like to share?
Yeah. It kind of changed as I was listening to people. But I intend to care for myself, heal my bodily aches and pains, and live my life for my highest good and what's best for me.
Wow. That's very all-encompassing. Yeah, it's powerful. Thank you.
And do you want the other answers or not really?
Yes, please, go for it. If you have the answers, I'm listening.
Oh, no, just because I wrote things down before. So you said, what do I need for healing right now? And when I listened to Anna, that changed my thing. I definitely want to go and book a massage now.
Me too.
And what will give me peace? Also, spending time in nature makes me peaceful. And just, I don't know, being calm and sort of divinely guided.
Beautiful. And we are. Let's just know that we are and just allow it. Beautiful. Thank you, Syra. Himanshi, I intend to.
I intend to have a balance between my femininity and masculine power. I want to heal that urge to be materialistic because I have been a really materialistic girl, but now it's like I'm staying away from it and I don't want to get involved in it anymore. I don't like it. For peace, discipline is something which would really bring peace in my life or in my inner soul.
That makes sense. I understand where you're coming from. I just want to affirm for you that you can say out loud, if you wanted to, that you are now balancing your material and physical life, so that your spiritual and your physical life can be balanced. You know, because if you're resisting, if you're putting out a lot of resistance about the material world, it's not a very helpful energy. I just want to offer that to you and take from it what you will. Barbara, would you like to share? I intend to.
I intend to stay grounded and rooted into the earth.
Sounds
and
strong.
Help and support others as the Tree of Life does in the Axiom Mundi of life and the support of all things.
Beautiful. Thank you. And what do you need for healing right now?
To know myself even more. Know thyself is over the ancient site of Delphi, and the ancients, that was the first thing they taught and practiced. So I'm 64 now, and I believe that I'm halfway through my journey of knowing myself. I know many things, but I yet don't know myself. So I'm learning to know myself, honor myself, and love myself, and heal myself.
Thank you. And what would bring you peace?
I am at peace, and I found that through my journey, and I'm at peace with myself.
Now for all of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's taken a long time to get there, but I'm there.
That was lovely. That was really beautiful. Yes. Well, as I was thinking of my own answers, I realized exactly that, is that, we can tune into whatever it is that we're seeking. It's available to us in this moment. Thank you, Barbara. I'll come over to you in a second. Andrew, if you'd like to share, I intend to.
Yeah, I intend to continue my path towards ascension, but as part of that, it's to help other people and to be of service to the universe, which I guess is like a purpose in life in general. Yeah.
That's very profound and beautiful. Thank you, Andrew. And what do you need for your healing right now?
I need to let go of the thoughts and to keep faith with the universe, and rather than thinking too much in your mind and thinking the thoughts are actually real where they're just illusionary. So letting go of the thoughts and having more faith in the universe, that I'm going with the flow. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. And what would bring you peace?
Yeah, stillness in water.
Oh, wow. Well, I just heard something very profound about water, is that we can return to our absolute natural state by listening to water. That's wonderful, beautiful. Thank you, Andrew. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Barbara, who I'm very pleased to have with us this evening. Thank you, Barbara.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Namaste. And it's been lovely listening to everybody and part of their journey. And I'm going to start with my story because it's my personal experiences. And then when I'm speaking, I'm sure a lot of you will go, yes, I feel that, I know that, I understand that. And for me, coming into this lifetime is a bit of a shock, having had lots of other previous lifetimes, but I came into this lifetime with a great wonder and excitement of this time. And I remember as a child growing up, and I would meet people and I would see all the energy lines around them. And of course, I didn't have anyone around me at that time to explain what I was seeing. And we're talking about healing tonight. One of the things I'm talking about is healing the original wounding. And I would see these lines, and I would see into past lives, what I call tracking into timelines. And as I grew up, I asked questions, and I discovered I was, as a child, was dyslexic. And I used to question, why am I dyslexic? Why am I dyslexic? I used to see spirit as a little girl. And they answered back to me and they said, because everything that you speak from, everything of your experience comes from you, not from another book or from another person, but from the wisdom of spirit, from, as somebody was saying, I think earlier on, about the ancestors. And so for me growing up, I was surrounded by spirit. I was surrounded by the ancestors, not a lot of people around, because I was regarded as a rather strange child for seeing spirit all the time and talking to the dead. Well, the dead are more alive than we are. I have to say that. Those of you who do mediumship would probably agree with me. And so I grew up questioning. And then at 12 years old, 13 years old, I was saying, I need somebody that can help me because I'm experiencing all these things. Now, if we go back 200, 300 years, we would have had tribal leaders. We would have had medicine men and medicine women who would have been there from the moment we were born to support us and nurture us through the rites of passage. But in today's world, who do we have? Who can we speak to? And so for me growing up, I craved somebody who could answer my questions. And I met Swain MacDonald, the Highland seer. And he looked at me and he said, everything you're experiencing, everything you're going through, it's normal. Don't worry about it. Just accept it and flow with it. And so I grew up and I have experienced everything I could possibly experience apart from giving birth. And I've had, like a lot of us who've been speaking tonight, because in a way it's kind of like Chiron, the wounded healer. How can you help others? How can you assist others unless you have that empathy and that compassion? A lot of you I'm listening to, I can hear the wisdom that you've gone through from your own experiences that make you who you are today. So Swain gifted me that insight, taught me about nature and the ancestors and working with the spirits. And then I left and went to the Native American lands where I met Edmagog, Eagle Man, and I ended up traveling around the world. And what I was seeking was knowledge, not written knowledge, but the oral traditional. And so I traveled around learning from the wise men and women through South America, Australia, many other lands about how not to be. And that's really important because so many of us are trying to be, and we need to look at how not to be. And what I mean by that is, what I was talking about earlier on, is that we're not supported through our life's traumas. And that doesn't just include this lifetime, it includes our past lifetimes. And so as I was growing up and I was seeing other people's timelines and I was journeying into their past lives, I began to understand what was actually happening and how that we go from lifetime to lifetime through reincarnation or transmigration. And we actually carry everything, all our wisdom. All our wisdom is around us. Edgar Cayce calls it the Akashic Records. I call it your soul, your knowing, your wisdom. Every single one of you listening tonight, everybody has that wisdom and that knowing. But what happens? You know, we come into this lifetime, we're put down, we're told we're no good, we're worthless. We come into this world in our right hemispheres. And in our right hemispheres, as most of you know, is intuition, imagination, insight. It's all in. And then, of course, we pass through the corpus callosum into the left hemisphere. It's been proven, Dr. Richard Sperry's done a lot of work on this. And we went to schooling. And so all of a sudden we're in our mind, we're not accessing and utilizing everything we have. We have our mind, our body, our emotions, our spirit, our soul. But where is the teachings? Where are we taught at the beginning of our lives to access this information? And so growing up, I was taught in all the arts of working with the mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. If we go to a doctor today, they focus, or consultant, they focus on one part of the body. But where is the shamanic practice, the teachings that the ancients grew up with that looked at the whole, the dis-ease, the ill at ease? And so I remember when I was 30, I ended up having a hysterectomy. Now, why was that? I was raped. I can easily say it. I was raped at 15. And after that happened, I asked why. And I caused the disease in my body because I didn't feel worthy enough. And I can talk about it very openly. And so I realized that I had created that. Now, I remember an old boyfriend of mine, James, saying to me, do you realize you created all of this? And at the time I was in denial going, no, 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 no. And then I got it. And then I understood. And then I saw that we are what we create. And we create these experiences and we choose these experiences. And yes, it's hard, but I wouldn't change it. And if I had to go through my whole life again and go through those same experiences again, I would, because it's made me a better person. I've walked through the pain. I've walked through the fear. I've walked through the doubts. And then my life changed. I went to the Amazon and I did what's called the vine of the soul, ayahuasca. And I sat there and suddenly I got out of my head and I came into my heart voice and everything changed. And I wrote a song, get out of your head and into your heart. Then you'll know where to start. It's not the thinking, it's the feeling, it's the knowing and believing. And in today's world around us, there's so much confusion and so many people talking and all these different philosophies. It's like a smorgasbord of confusion. Because what do we trust? What do we feel? What do we know? What do we understand? And that's why at the beginning, when I talked about know thyself, all those who I've worked with through the healing and through soul retrieval and soul loss, I've always asked me one question: do you know yourself? How can you heal until you know yourself? How can you heal yourself until you know yourself? And so I learned that. I remember when my dad was in hospital having a quadruple heart bypass. And I saw these men in the heart ward and I went round them all. I was curious. Why are you here? Well, I've had a divorce, so my partner's died. And out of 30 people, 28 were either emotional or mental or spiritual. Only 2 were actually physical. And I suddenly realized that we don't look at that whole. We don't look at that complete picture. We tend to focus on who we're not. We are not our inner child or the inner critic who's screaming at us. We're something far greater. And as somebody said earlier on, we are the divine. We are part of that divine essence. And to deny that is so wrong, because we are born from Creator. We are that star seed of Creator. And so we are divine, and we are placed and given so many things to get through. The mind comes in the way and say, this is not possible, or whatever it may be. And so it's important to come back into the whole. Who am I? What part of me? What part is fragmented? So I've learned through healing of the soul, through looking at the original wounding. Where does it come from? Where did we first have it? And I've worked with so many people now that when we go back to that original wounding, it might be in this lifetime, it might be in a previous lifetime, we discover something far greater. And we realize that when we look, our spirits are crushed, our souls fragmented, our emotions are drained or restrained. We've got mental confusion, mental emotion, it's all these things that stop us. And if we just, very simply, as I've learned, to go, as the Egyptians say, halas, which means enough. And it's so difficult. People say to me, what have I learned through life? And I say, I've learned to silence the mind. I no longer think, because I work through the heart center. How did that happen? It happens. I silenced every time I heard that voice. Every time those fears came up, I went into the silence, went into the voice. And I wasn't supported as a child, but as I grew up, I've had to do all this by myself. I've not had anybody else to help me. And so for me, it's an incredible experience. For me, as you know me, I'm passionate about what I do. And somebody once said, what is it you want to help each person to realize how incredible, how amazing just being in that moment, that ecstasy, that bliss of divine resonates with us, and then nothing and no one can affect us. But it's very difficult in today's world with everything going on. But what I said at the very beginning, when you said, I said about being that tree of life, being those roots into the earth, Mother Earth, as people were saying, getting back into nature. We don't have the elements in our house. Where are our fires that we once burnt on the hearth? Where is the running water? You know, we've been taken away from nature for a reason. Because when we're taken away from nature, we are disempowered. And the only way to empower yourself is to get back into nature, get back on the land, take your shoes and socks off, get grounded, lie on the earth. Doesn't matter what anyone else is thinking. If you're in the middle of London, it's about doing what you want to do and what empowers you, and working from the heart center. The ancients knew this. The ancients worked through the heart center, but so many people are now driven through the mind. And so it's a balance. It's a balance of all things, the mind, the heart, the spirit, the soul. We have so many gifts that are living within inside each and every one of us. And it's important to recognize that today. And that's what I wish to share with you, that yes, I've stumbled. Yes, I've fallen. Yes, I've tried to kill myself 3 times. I've had 3 near-death experiences. And you know what? I'm still going. And why? Because I believe. I believe in the spirit realms. I believe in, I've seen the ancestors many times. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in myself. And it's just so beautiful when you discover how beautiful within each and every one of us is that shining light of divinity that radiates. Everybody has it. And when that illuminates and lights up your life, like the beautiful picture behind you, that is your soul, your spirit, your light. It is all encompassing and radiating. Take your glasses off, have a look, peep inside, because what you'll find is there is so incredible, so profound, that it will change your life. And that's what I wish for everybody. That 1 second, that one moment when you go, oh, I'm home. I'm home. I feel it. And so for me, the joy that wells up from my heart goes out to each and every one of you, because I feel who you are, because I am a part of you as you are a part of me. And so I would say just surrender and dive in to the greatest mystery of all, you. I hope I haven't talked too long.
Not at all, not at all. Thank you for your wisdom and for your honesty, which takes great courage. And I see your light, and it's very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Would anyone like to ask any questions at all? There was a lady that was saying, and well done for not defending when people go at you, the lovely lady with the glasses. I'm dyslexic, so I forget names. But one thing I learned when somebody would push my buttons and I would go, I learned to act, not react. And when I stood there and went, no, this is not acceptable, I learned to act upon my wisdom rather than react to their issues and situations.
I'm going to open the floor for questions now, but just before anybody asks any questions, I just want to ask you, please, Barbara, could you please share where people can find out more about your work, your website.
The website is spirit-visions.co.uk, or just Google my name. It's
Okay.
Barbara Meiklejohn-Free.
Great. So just one more time, spirit-visions.co.uk.
But if you Google my name, it will come up.
Okay, fantastic.
It will come up. And with the help of Spirit and Flavia, I've written, Flavia took this book down. I wrote this book called The Shaman Within, and it's all about reclaiming our rites of passage. Sorry, I'll hold it up. I just dragged it off there. And actually the picture, half the face is me and the other half is Ed McGall Eagleman, my Lakota teacher.
Amazing. So with that, does anybody have any questions for Barbara?
I'd love some questions.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Hello. I don't know if you can see me. Sorry, maybe I should put the light on.
Yes.
No. It's a perfect balance. You're in light and shade, so it's perfect.
I was just going to ask you about your ayahuasca experience, just because lately that seems to have come into my sort of realm, and I'm curious about it. But what I was going to say was, I'm scared to do it myself, because what happens if you kind of go so like deep into it and you don't come out of it again, if that makes sense?
Well, I've never met anyone that hasn't come out of it yet, but I'll tell you it's a story. I went to the Amazon when I was 40, and I'd grown up with my parents that went, you don't do drugs, you don't do this, you don't do that. So I went to South America to go and do this ceremony, and what I thought and what happened to me were two different things. And I remember taking the ayahuasca, and nothing happened at the time. And the curandero said to me, well, you already have visions, you already see things. I said, but nothing's happening. And he said, it will do. And then, of course, what happened to me was suddenly I stopped thinking. And of course, what's your natural reaction? You start going, where is it? Where's my thoughts? Where are they gone? What's happening? And it's stepping into the knowing. And I was searching for my thoughts. And so I started to do the ayahuasca, which was an incredible journey. And it changed my life forever. I ended up in Machu Picchu on the top of the mountain. And so many things happened when I stopped thinking. We got to think, of course, for our work and living. But I stopped thinking and analyzing and fearing and doubting, and went, you know what? I'm going to try it. And I did. I was with the right medicine teachers. Oh, I can see your face now. I was with the right medicine teachers. And from that, I went to Native American lands, to Phoenix, Arizona, and I got in the car. I was on a 6 month, I'm just going to follow spirit wherever I'm going. And I got out of the car, and the roadman was there, peyote roadman. And he said, oh, you need to come to the peyote meeting tonight. So I went, okay. So I spent another 3 months with a peyote roadman, and I ended up doing all of it. Me, who was like, oh, I can't do this, can't do that. My mother and father say I shouldn't do this. And I tell you what, it changed my life completely. And I call them sacred plant medicine teachers. And they were left on the earth for a reason, from mushrooms to many other things. Everybody listening might have different ideas or thoughts, and everybody's right. Nobody is wrong. But for me, that experience, when I got to the point where I let go of my preconceived ideas and thoughts of what should or shouldn't be, and stopped trying to control things, and I surrendered, wow, incredible. And it changed my life forever.
Wow.
And now you're going to ask me, where can you go? But if you write to me, I'll send you the details of the curandero that is a very good friend of mine in Cusco, and he can direct you from there. Okay. But never be afraid. Just, you know, what is the worst thing that can happen? And as I say, I've never met anyone that's never come back yet.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I believe Maureen had a question.
Hello, Maureen.
Hello.
Hi, Maureen.
How are you? I really enjoyed your speech there. It was great. everything was so informative. I've done a lot of past life regressions, some very profound, through the works. It's called Ekankara, which is study of dream works, and it was amazing. But we call them past lives, but are they actually outside of linear time? Are they actually happening all at the same time? And does one, so as we ascend, say in this lifetime, are we affecting all those other lives, almost like a domino effect, like a ripple effect? Or are they completely separate?
Very good. You've answered all your questions.
Oh, God.
You see, you already have that wisdom. You already know everything. But the answer is yes, we do. Our lifetimes, when I came into this lifetime, I remember two predominant ones, a Lakota one and an Egyptian one. Cut long story short, I ended up in South Dakota, trained as a veteran sun dancer with Ed McGaw Eagleman at Wounded Knee. And I'd always had a vision as a little girl of running through this ravine and something being in my back and falling down. 2011, I went to Sundance, ended up with a heart attack, saw all the ancestors with two other people with me at Wounded Knee. And then I realized that where I put my tent at the Sundance was where I'd actually fallen in the ravine. That was the first story. The second one is Egypt, and going to Karnak Temple and knowing where I was and working with the Egyptologists and telling them everything. We all have that. A lot of people go to sacred sites. They know all these things because it's a memory within us. As we come from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, we hold that through transmigration. A lot of us, as we finish a lifetime, one of the things that the ancients taught was to do a life review before passing into the next lifetime. And so many of us have these memories. We come in with these memories, but as I was saying earlier on, we go to school and it's forgotten. So what I would say to you is absolutely yes. You know, you answered your own questions. It happens, you know, as we say, the past, the present, the future are all one and the same, happening simultaneously. But it's journeying back into those past lives. We have past lives in this lifetime, and looking at each one and recognizing if there is original wounding, if there's any soul loss, there's any soul retrieval needed, and just doing that life review. But you've already done it and you're already doing it. It's just the doubt from your childhood and from when you were told you weren't good enough, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, you must know this, you must know that. You know it, you're living it, you're being it. Trust, get rid of that inner critic. Honor the inner child and love yourself totally, because you have it. You are wise. So as I was saying earlier on, act, not react, and empower yourself, because when people go at you, it's because you're a powerful, wise woman. You stand in your power, you know what to say to them, and you walk away.
Thank you.
And the next session is going to be all about inner child healing.
Oh, fantastic.
So that's perfect if anybody would like to come to that. Thank you, Barbara. Does anybody else have any other questions for Barbara?
I love questions.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi, Barbara.
Oh, hello there.
Roz.
Really enjoyed your lovely story and your lovely sharing. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I wanted to ask you, what do you do for grounding?
Very simply, out in nature, feet on the earth, and I just visualize beautiful golden light, whatever color, I feel the sun. What I tend to do is I go out, I get the sun on my third eye, I draw in the energy of the sun, I cleanse my entire body with the rays and energy of the sun as it flows out into Mother Earth. And that's what I do.
Okay, thank you.
And nature, you know, as I was saying earlier on, nature, everything in nature can heal us. I remember when I was in the Amazon being told that all the illnesses, all the disease in the world, the medicine is in that jungle that will heal everybody. And so when we get to nature, when we get into those negative ions, whether we, you know, I'm sure sometimes you feel you want to go to the sea, but that's because of the energy of the element of water pulling you, or you want to sit round a fire, or, you know, you want to stand to the earth, or you want to be underneath the moon. The most important thing I found, and it's really important, is to trust what you feel. If you're suddenly going, I have to go out in nature, it doesn't matter about anyone else. That's because your inner wisdom, your inner knowing is saying, ground yourself, heal yourself, give yourself some time and some space. You are important. You came here for you. You came onto this lifetime for you. It's about, as somebody said earlier on, it's self-care, self-worth. And you are here for your life's journey. We share it with many others. But the most important thing of all is looking after yourself. And one thing I'll say to you, which I'll pass on to you, it's important that anyone around you ask the question, do you or does it serve your highest purpose? People, situations, work. And if the answer is no, I think you know what to do.
Very powerful. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Namaste.
That's great advice. Yeah. And anybody else have any questions? Go ahead. Salvo.
Barbara, hi. Thank you very much for your speech. And during all your journey, what do you think was the thing that makes you go ahead and feel like, oh, there's something more? I'm not done enough. I haven't done, the trip isn't finished. What made you feel like there was something else that's pushing you forward? How would you describe that?
Well, first of all, you said, what do I think? I don't think anymore. So I'm going to say I feel and I know ever since I was a little girl, this, I can't even describe it. It's this power, this force, this drive. As I was saying earlier on, I nearly died 3 times. I've had 3 near-death experiences. But every time I was giving up, I remember I had a metal knee put in about 7-8 years ago, and I'm allergic to it. And I remember I thought, I've had enough. And I remember Flavia coming to me and saying, Barbara, come on. It's the voice of friends or the voices of spirit. It's just this drive. It's this inner passion, this inner desire. You know, it takes a lot for us to come onto this earth plane, to reincarnate at this time. So you've come here, you've taken a lot of energy and a lot of time. You know, you've been upstairs going, well, I don't know if I want to go back or not. And they're going, well, you know, you've had all this. You're like, what the heck am I doing here again? You know, I had better lifetimes than this one, blah, blah, blah. You know, I see you as a philosophist in Greek. You know, you've got so much philosophy around you. It's unbelievable within. Doesn't matter about what you've read. And so that passion, that drive that, you know, we get up sometimes and we don't know why, and we just go, no, we're going to do it. So it's an inner force, an inner drive that is not, it's within us, but it surrounds us. It's what I call what we did when we first came here, when we decided, when we were up there going to our guides or whatever you care to call them, our guardians, and going, I really want to go back. But you're going to pass through the veil of amnesia. You're going to forget what it is you came for. And then suddenly you're going, no, I've forgotten, I'm thinking again, do. And then there's that little poke from that person who said, well, you know what you're getting yourself into? You come down on the earth plane. And it's that, it's the ancestors, it's whatever name you care to give it, it's that divine source, creator, that's saying, you are here because you're learning, you're sharing, you're moving forward. It's that drive. And that's what you've got, to help people, to assist people. You know, you do such great work with helping everybody else. Go in. You know what I'm saying. I don't need to say anymore. You know, you've got it. You can help everybody. But you go around going, So as I said earlier, get out of that head of yours, get into your heart, and then you'll know where to start. And as soon as you enter into your heart center, as soon as you go, I love myself, I honor myself, I know myself, then you will, my friend, you will. And keep up the great work of helping everybody else. But put yourself first of all for a change, because that never happened in your life. You've always been second best. Be first best now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's all just, you know, I laugh. It's the cosmic joker. I remember once when I finished my journey of ayahuasca and all the rest of it, and I came home and suddenly I was presented with magic mushrooms, and I just laughed and went, okay. And I drank it and I saw the cosmic joker, and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. And you know, when things get down or things get tough, just laugh. Nice talking with you.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions before I do a short reading and then hand over to Anna for our segment of grounding and staying safe?
Could I just share a very quick song that will help people?
A song, yes, please.
Yeah, that I was given. So when it's woman, you can say man, but it's a song that if you're really down, and I shared this with a native teacher, and it's really helped me when times have been tough. And it's very simple. It goes like this. I am a wise woman. I am a strong woman. I am a healer. My soul will never die. And I'm sure you're writing those words down. I can see you busy there. I am a wise woman or man. I am a strong woman or man. I am a healer, and my soul never dies. And when you feel low and feel down, if you say those words or chant those words, everyone can sing, by the way, and you feel it, you become it. You become that wise man or woman. You stand in your power and not let anyone ever take that away from you, because it's your goddess given right.
Love that. Do you have that recorded?
Yes, I do, actually, on my Ancient Future CD. I'll send you a copy. I'll send you a copy.
That'll be wonderful. Thank you.
So just say the words, feel the words, you know. Everybody is amazing. So enjoy, everybody. Don't take life so seriously. Just laugh through it all and have fun and enjoy yourself and laugh at yourself and have fun and yeah, and just love yourself.
Beautiful.
It's been lovely talking to everybody.
Likewise.
Such beautiful souls of wisdom. You have such a wisdom team around you. Really have.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me on.
Absolute privilege. Thank you. Any further questions? Okay. Well, if anybody has any further questions, I'm sure that you can email Barbara, and her email is written there. Love the song.
Oh, thank you.
Said, me too. So Barbara's email is written there on the box, spiritvisions999 at AOL.com, and she has a book coming out with Flavia, who's going to be a guest in October. We discussed today, which I'm very excited about. Who's going to be talking about the fairies. Barbara works together with Flavia and co-authored a book called...
we've done quite a few, so...
The new one that's coming out, the diary.
Flavia's done Initiation of the Dark Goddess. We write right across the board through healing, shamanic, the elementals, so many different fields. And
you've got the Witch's Diary coming out.
Yes, it's out. It's out, yeah.
Oh, yes. Witch's Diary 2022, which I'm going to buy a copy of.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
For those of you, what does a witch mean? A wise, incredibly talented, creative healer. And what do witches mean? Wise, incredibly talented creative healers experiencing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And I'll leave you with that one.
I can see the big lamp being drawn out of your bag as we speak. Love it. Barbara, thank you so much. I do hope that you'll stay with us if you want to. You're very welcome to. I'm going to do a short reading from You Can Heal Your Life. It's actually an exercise called I Approve of Myself, and it's very fitting with what Barbara was talking about self-love. And this is a lesson that we all need to learn and remind ourselves of often. I approve of myself. I have given this exercise to hundreds of people, and the results are phenomenal. For the next month, say over and over to yourself, I approve of myself. Do this 300 or 400 times a day. At least. No, it's not too many times when you're worrying, when you go over a problem, or at least that many times. Let I approve of myself become a walking mantra, something that you just say over and over to yourself, almost non-stop. Saying I approve of myself is a guaranteed way to bring up everything buried in your consciousness that is in opposition. And when negative thoughts come up, such as how can I approve of myself when I'm fat, or it's silly to think that this could do any good, or I am no good, or whatever your negative habit will be, this is the time to take mental control. Give these thoughts no importance, just see them for what they are. Another way to keep you stuck in the past. Gently say to these thoughts, I let you go, I approve of myself. Even considering doing this exercise can bring up a lot of stuff, like it feels silly, it doesn't feel true, it's a lie, it sounds stuck up, or how can I approve of myself when I do this? Let all these thoughts just pass through. These are only resistance thoughts. They have no power over you unless you choose to believe in them. I approve of myself, I approve of myself, I approve of myself. No matter what happens, no matter who says what to you, no matter what or who does what to you, just keep it going. In fact, when you can say to yourself, when someone is doing something that you don't approve of, you will know that you are growing and changing. Thoughts have no power over us unless we give in to them. Thoughts are only words strung together. They have no meaning whatsoever. Only we give meaning to them. Let us choose to think thoughts that nourish and support us. And with that, I approve of myself. I'm going to hand over to Anna Pavlakis. Good to see you. Good to have you here with us this evening. Would you share a little bit about yourself and
Sure.
what you will share? Thank you.
Yeah, so I've met a lot of you here, but I haven't met everybody. So my name is Anna Pavlakis, and I'm a shamanic healer. And I work with clients all over the world and including a lot of spiritual coaching. So I work with my guides to get to the root of whatever the issues are that you're having. And it's very much a journey deep into your subconscious. So I joke that I'm actually like a psychologist pretending to be a shaman or something like that. So Alexis asked me to talk today about grounding, and I was just, thinking about how these days, there's just so much turmoil happening in the world. It's just, I feel like, there's just like whirlwind around us. And, for those of us, and I would say probably everybody here right now is sensitive. We're all, we're all very intuitive. We're all very empathic. We're clairsentient, clairvoyant, and so I think for people like us, it's especially important to stay grounded. And it can be, I think, especially difficult too, because I don't know about you guys, but I personally could feel the collective like all the time. You know, I'm just always feeling what's going on in the collective, and it could be quite exhausting, you know. So I think that for us, especially for those of us who are sensitive, it's super important to stay grounded and centered. And when you're not grounded and centered, and you might not even realize it, but anytime you're feeling sort of scatterbrained or forgetful, and or you get like easily irritated, or you lose your temper, you're very worried, you're very tired, you're having trouble focusing, you're having trouble staying organized, and maybe you feel depressed, all these things, that could be an indication, or is an indication that you're not grounded, you're not centered. In the car, interesting. And you can have a sensation, for me, I get the sensation, I don't know if everybody gets it, but sometimes I feel like I'm being blown by the wind when I'm not centered and grounded. Yeah, shopping. When you're in a shopping center and you've got all these people around you, it could be extremely ungrounding. Being in busy cities, so because we're sensitive beings, and we feel other people's energies. And one very important thing about staying grounded and centered is that it's really important not only just to feel good and to be able to function in life, but when you're not, it's much easier for negative entities and things like that, implants and so forth, to attach to you and to go into you. So because you're not in your power, you're not in your personal power, when you're ungrounded, your personal barrier that you have around you, your protection, it's not strong. So it's very important to stay grounded so that you're not allowing these negative energies, these negative entities to enter into your energy field. So that's like another thing about it. And you're also then more easily influenced by other people and their opinions, their thoughts, when you're not grounded. And then there's the whole element of fear, because right now there's so much fear on the planet, and it leads to a vicious cycle, because fear leads to you being more ungrounded, and being ungrounded leads to more fear, and it just becomes this vicious cycle. And it intensifies. The more ungrounded you are, the more you are in fear. The more in fear you are, the more you are ungrounded, and it can spiral downwards and become actually a very powerful energy. And we can see that happening on the planet right now. So it's really, I think, a very important part of being on the spiritual path to stay grounded. I mean, when I first started really to open up spiritually, I spent a lot of time up there. It's nice up there. It's really nice. It's nice to be, chatting with your guides and channeling and all of that. I really enjoyed it, But it's also, it can become an addiction and an escapism. It's like watching too much TV or spending too much time online or whatever. You have to be here. You have to be 5D is so great. I love 5D. It's so great, but we are here in physical 3D bodies on this planet, and we're here for a reason. So we have to bridge the two worlds. So I want to talk about like different ways you can ground. If you could stay in 5D, you would. Yes, Matthew, definitely. It's so nice there. But actually, I really like the planet. I like the Earth. So, I think staying here could be quite nice as well. So the first thing, if you're feeling ungrounded, just whatever you're doing, just if you can, if you're working or driving, maybe you can't, but just try to stop. Just stop. If it is at all possible, and you're feeling like this, just stop whatever it is you're doing. Stand still. stop moving, and just stop and breathe. Just breathe. As I think Alexis was saying earlier, take some deep breaths, deep breaths. And one very simple thing you can do is do a simple mindfulness exercise, which is to focus on what's happening in the five senses. So what do you see? Notice what you see. Notice what you smell. What do you smell in the air? What do you smell in your skin? Smell something, right? What do you hear? Passing cars, the wind, other people talking. What are you hearing? What can you taste? What does your mouth taste like? What's happening in your mouth? So engaging all five senses is really important. Of course, if you can walk barefoot on the ground, that's also a wonderful thing. It's not always possible to do that. If you can't walk barefoot on the ground, stomp around on the ground. Okay, that is very grounding. And if you can dance, that's great, especially to something that's very percussive. I really love like dancing to African music, really like African dance is really grounding, as is like hip hop and rap. Even if you don't like it, it can be very, very grounding to dance to that. Something with a really strong beat, instantly grounding. Another practice that you can do is to spend some time every day, even if it's only 5 minutes or 10 minutes, sitting in silence. We don't, I think, realize how difficult it is to achieve silence, to be in silence, true silence. It's elusive, right? Silence is elusive. With no distractions, put the phone away, turn off the radio, the television, walk away from the computer, walk away from people, and try to be in a place that's as silent as possible. I think, the times when I've been in a truly silent environment, like when I would go to various Buddhist temples for meditation retreats, and I remember sitting in one temple, this was upstate in Woodstock. There's this wonderful monastery up there. And I just remember sitting there and in that silence, and it was just like, like my whole being I realized it was like I was thirsty for the silence, like an insatiable thirst. And I just was like, oh my God, thank God I'm in the silence. And it was heavenly. So that's, if you can attempt to get as close to silence as possible, it's great. Of course, working on your root chakra, is very important for grounding. And you can do that, by eating root vegetables, grounding foods. If you eat meat, eating meat can be very grounding. If you don't, root vegetables is grounding. Wearing the color red or earth colors is very, very grounding, and just doing other root chakra work. I forget the seed syllable. Is it lam? I always forget. For the first chakra, for the root chakra, there's a seed syllable. I don't know if somebody remembers what it is, but chanting that, it can be very good. Another way to ground is to focus on what you're grateful for and what you have. Because okay, thank you. A lot of times we're ungrounded because we're in a state of worry or fear or lack that can make us feel very ungrounded. So sitting and taking some time, maybe journaling. I used to, and whenever I'm going through like a tough time, I'll keep a gratitude journal. And every morning I'll sit and first thing, and I'll just write down all the things that I'm grateful for, everything that I appreciate. And from the smallest thing, like the cup of coffee I'm having, to the way the sun feels on my face, to, maybe the dishes that I'm using. I mean, everything that I have, and I appreciate, I'm grateful for, and really focusing on what I have is very, very grounding. Yeah, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can do for that. And also another way to ground is to keep your home very tidy and organized. That's like, people forget that. It's very, very, I love the word discombobulating. It's very discombobulating to like have a place that's chaotic. When your external world is chaotic, how can your internal world be centered and grounded? So I think that's very, very important. You know, do these tasks, you know, so that you don't get overwhelmed, because being overwhelmed leads to being ungrounded. Keep, you know, so when you have some dishes, don't let them pile up. Wash them, because like then you just will feel overwhelmed and you'll be like, I don't want to deal with this, right? So keeping things clean as much as possible and tidying up and things in order, dealing with your clutter, getting rid of clutter, it can really help you ground. And if you can't necessarily stand on you know, the ground barefoot, if it's cold or whatever, go to a tree. A tree, and then align your chakras with the tree, okay? And just standing with your back against the tree, leaning against the trunk, and allow all of the negativity or whatever to just drain out and just go into the earth, and just let that tree take whatever you need. It can be incredibly grounding. Meditate, of course. And there's one final technique I want to share with you. It's really simple. This guy, Dan Howard, I don't know what happened to him. He seems to have disappeared, but he had this technique called intentional resting, which is, it's an amazing technique, and it's super, super simple. And I use it all the time. And what you do is you say, I am resting for, or I'm resting into my blank now. So you could do it for a physical part of your body. But what I like to say is, I'm resting from my connection to Mother Earth now. Okay. I'm resting for my connection to Source now, if you want to be really balanced. I'm resting into my connection with Mother Earth now, is another way. I'm resting from my root chakra now. And it's really simple and really powerful. And this guy, I wish he were more well known, because I found this technique to be incredible. Absolutely incredible. And then finally, on my YouTube channel, I have, which is Integrated Soul Healing. That's the name of it. If anybody wants to go to my YouTube channel, I have a video on there called How to Quickly Center Yourself. And on there is an exercise, and it's really simple. It's just a quick little technique. And so I share that on there, as well as a chakra meditation. So, you know, balancing and clearing your chakras is, of course, an extremely good way to stay grounded and centered. It's important to do. So I also have that. I have a chakra balancing meditation, which is longer. It's about 15, 20 minutes. And then I have this How to Quickly Center Yourself exercise video, and it's like 4 minutes or something. So if you go to my YouTube channel, Integrated Soul Healing, you could check those out. And people have told me that they found it to be very helpful. So I hope this was helpful. This is what I do. And I think I'm pretty grounded, you know? So, you know, if all else fails, dance. Just dance. And laugh, right? Yeah, I love what Barbara was saying about laughing. Laughing is so great. Laugh and dance. Laugh, dance, eat. Yeah.
And thank you so much, Anna. That was beautiful. And I'm sure Salva would agree that you could also use crystals to ground, right?
Of
the,
course, yes.
the earthy colored ones, or the black ones, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Red
Sorry.
What were you going to say?
No, please,
Red
Anna, go through. Go on, please.
Red jasper is a good one. Right?
Yeah, I agree with you. In my practice, I usually ask people to do a quick meditation called tree root meditation, but I also use dark crystal on the feet, on the root chakra. And actually, Anna, you said something very, very interesting and very important, and people forget. When our chakras are not aligned, are not cleansed, you cannot ground at all. So you said right, when people need to cleanse their the root chakra, otherwise it doesn't work. So that's one of the reasons sometimes grounding doesn't work. You feel always spaced out. I don't know if people are interested, my grounding meditation or tree root meditation is just imagine that I grow roots from the feet and just connect to earth, just imagining, just this really helps me release things I don't need, like all the gunk that could be just taken from others' emotions and all this stuff. And another really good thing you said, Anna, I really liked it, thank you very much, is that, that we take stuff from other people. I find that wearing stuff like silver, like, I don't know, crystals, or black crystals also, just help me just shield myself from other energy. So that's one thing I can recommend people to do. Just try to shield yourself from others' emotions or the feelings, especially the negative ones, to really remain on your own, still grounded, still balanced. So.
Yes, shielding, meditations, absolutely every day, and clearing, daily clearing, very important. Yes, Shungite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shungite sometimes, Shungite can be a bit rare to find. Even black tourmaline, it's much easier to find. Yeah.
For those that don't know, Salvo is a crystal healer, among other things. Anna, that was amazing. Thank you so much. There was a lot of information there. I'm going to do a final reading and close the session early. But before I do, I just want to check in with all of you and just ask you if there is anything that you would like to share before I do this final reading and close the group. I'm going to start with you, Anna.
Okay. What is the question? Anything I want to share?
Yes, is there anything that you would like to share with the group before I do the final reading and close? And also, it could be something that you would like an affirmation for. It doesn't have to be anything. It could be nothing. Whatever you choose.
I don't know. I'm feeling just like very, these days I'm just feeling very much in the present. It's funny, like I haven't been working very much, but I have enough for my needs. I just feel, like this year has been a year of just letting go of all these like old fears. And so I'm just feeling like really in a state that I'm very blessed and I'm able to just really be. And I think that to just be and to be where you are at whatever time it is an amazing place to be. And it's like an exercise in presence and letting go. That's all.
So what I'm hearing is I am fully grounded in the present and I am safe.
Because safe is really important, because a year ago I wasn't feeling safe because I wasn't.
Yeah, that's a good statement for us all to say. Thank you, Anna, and thank you for your beautiful grounding work with us. Thank you. Salvo, anything that you would like to share or say?
As you said those words, something came to me. Trust your gut feelings. I think that's something that we all forget sometimes. So when we don't feel like a situation is right, when we don't think that something doesn't work for us, just trust our gut feelings. Just walk away, go somewhere else, do something that is much better for you. So.
Beautiful. Yeah. I wonder if that could be put in a succinct phrase. I trust my inner wisdom at all times.
I like it.
Beautiful. Thank you, Salvo. Roz, anything that you would like to say or share?
It's just been really, really lovely, actually. I was kind of nervous coming on tonight because obviously I don't know. I've never met any of you before, and your lovely invite, Alexis.
Thank you.
Just listening to Salvo there and Anna, very, very grounding, because grounding is my kind of catchphrase at the moment. Yeah, just thank you all, so very much, and to Barbara and everybody else. It's just been a real, real pleasure, and thank you so much.
Lovely having you with us, Roz. And
thank you.
I am peaceful, grounded, and present.
Yes.
Thank you.
I am.
Syra, anything that you would like to say or share?
Yes, just to thank everybody for their contributions. It's already, well, I feel, I'm going to say it, I feel a lot better. And I'm actually, because I'm on a second floor flat, I'm going to go downstairs, walk barefoot on the grass, and definitely do a bit of grounding.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm deeply connected and nourished to Mother Earth. That's my affirmation for you and for all of us. Okay. Thank you, Syra. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And Matthew, anything that you would like to share or say? If you could unmute, please. Sorry, speak up a little bit. We can't hear you.
So, just grateful that I was able to attend tonight, that I know that I'm on the right track from going from headspace, heart space, and continue working on my services that's flowing through me, and that everything is provided for.
I love that. And what I heard as an affirmation was, I'm always in the right place at the right time, and everything I need comes to me in divine timing. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm very grateful to you all. And I'm going to close the group with this short reading from You Can Heal Your Life. And it's called A Treatment, and it's one of the short treatments written by Louise Hay. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole and complete. I see any resistance patterns within me only as something else to release. They have no power over me. I am the power in my world. I flow with the changes taking place in my life as fast as I can, as best I can. I approve of myself and the way that I'm changing. I'm doing the best that I can. Each day gets easier. I rejoice that I am in the rhythm and flow of my ever-changing life. Today is a wonderful day. I choose to make it so. All is well in my world. Thank you for your attendance this evening, everybody. Have a beautiful evening, and hope to see you in a couple of weeks where we will be focusing on inner child healing. Maybe see you then. All right, lovely to see you all. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Night.
Night.